Hi, I'm Tom Sommers with Edina Realty. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'd like to cover the 5 most common mistakes that buyers make when trying to purchase a house. Some of this is going to be real common sense to you and you're going to be like, yeah, right, I wouldn't, know this. But I also think that there are going to be a few things in here that will probably surprise you. The one thing I can promise you is if you're willing to give me 5 minutes or so of your time, you will walk away knowing more than you do right now. That will help you be a better buyer and help you avoid this trap that these buyers just keep falling into on a consistent basis. So, number 1 on the list is getting pre-approved. This is a really important piece to the puzzle as you start looking for a house for several reasons. And getting pre-approved, if you're not familiar with the term, is that you sit down with a loan officer at a bank or a lending institution. You give them all of your paperwork, your W-2s, your tax returns, your bank statements, everything that they're going to need to help determine if you qualify for a loan and how much you qualify for. Once you know how much you qualify for, then the next question to ask is, what would my payment be for that qualification? You may find that you are qualified for $300,000, but you may only want to spend $250 because you feel that the payment at $250 is much more comfortable for you than it is at $300. You don't want to be house poor. In addition, the loan officer as well as the real estate agent will sit down and go through all of the fees with you so you know exactly how much money you're spending. Your down payment, how much the loan origination fee is, appraisal, and all the other things that go into purchasing a house. The more you know, the better off you're going to be because you're going to be able to plan financially for this transaction. The last piece of this also is that most sellers, not all, but most sellers will not entertain an offer from a buyer until they have a pre-approval letter that accompanies that offer and an earnest check. They, meaning the seller, want to know that if you are trying to purchase their home, that you are qualified through a bank and can actually get the loan to purchase the home. You don't want to end up sitting on the sidelines and miss out in a multiple offer situation on the home of your dreams simply because you weren't organized. So get it done early, get it out of the way. It'll make your life easier. Because then when you're looking at houses, your real estate agent just has to call up the loan officer and say, hey, we found a house at 123 Main. Here is the specifics, the price, the taxes, or whatever. And can you send me over a letter? Sure. Usually takes about 5 or 10 minutes, and you're ready to go, and you don't miss that opportunity. Number 2 is hire the right real estate agent. I've talked about this in great detail before, so if you've watched my different videos and podcasts, you understand this. I won't go into great detail today, so I'll say just one brief thing. Make sure that the agent that you choose is someone that you feel will best represent you, someone that you feel will be an advocate for you, that will work tirelessly for you from beginning to end, and also explain the process in detail as you go through it. It's very important that myself as a real estate agent provides you with all of the information and all of your choices, but that you, the client, are the one who are making the choices. You don't want to hire a real estate agent who's going to try to make the choices for you or not inform you the way you should be informed. The other thing is do you like that person? Do you feel that they will work hard for you and will you get along with them? So personality is, I think, a really important piece as well. The last thing I'm going to say on it is also to make sure you ask the agent, are you currently licensed? I can't believe I'm actually saying that, and that's part of the reason why I'm doing this little video right now, is it turned out I was doing an offer for a buyer here this week, and we tried to submit the offer and couldn't get the offer to the bank, who is the listing company, because the agent who was representing them turns out wasn't licensed. They are currently unlicensed and had to pull everything off the market and put it in temporarily hold until they get their license situation straightened out. So don't end up in the situation where you have a buyer's agent who's not licensed. Thirdly, don't look above your comfort level. Don't look for homes that are well above your price range. If you're qualified for $200,000, then don't be looking at $400,000 houses. There isn't anybody, a bank or anyone else, who's going to take a $100,000 cut, let alone a $200,000 cut off of the list price. It's just not going to happen. Everything is negotiable, and you should definitely always go in and negotiate hard to get the best deal you can for yourself, but you got to be reasonable. If you set up unreasonable expectations and you're looking at homes that are well above what your comfort level is, ultimately all the homes that are available for you, you'll just be disappointed in, because they're not going to have the same square footage and the features of a house that's $200,000 or $300,000 more than what you can afford. Number 4, don't quit your job. if you're going to purchase a home, make sure that you have a stable income and that you're comfortable with your current employer. Because if you quit your job midstream and go to a different job, there's a very good chance you will no longer qualify for the loan. There are certain requirements that lenders will ask for with regards to job history. I had one this week where there was a client who quit their job and started another job, which was better paying. Sounds great, but the only problem with that is the new job that pays better is a temporary job, meaning that they're not fully employed right now by the company, although they are working full time. So the loan officer looked at it and said, there's nothing I can do. He's a temporary employee, so this just isn't going to happen. And unfortunately, the buyer's going to lose the house and the seller's going to lose the buyer and have to start all over again. It's no good for anybody, and it might be months before this particular person can purchase again. The last one I want to talk about is also don't buy anything big. All of the loans are predicated on your income, your debt to income ratio, the amount of money you're putting down, your savings, your tax returns, your W-2s, everything. So if you go out and you're qualified for a loan and you're purchasing this house and you decide you're going to buy a brand new 2000 and whatever pickup truck that's 30 or 40 grand, that could screw up your debt to income ratio, and all of a sudden now you no longer qualify for the loan. So it's really important that before you make any big purchases of a car or furniture or anything else, check with your loan officer first and say, hey, if I end up spending this money, is this going to create a problem for me? Most of these things that I've shared with you can be avoided if you just pick up the phone and talk to your representatives. Call your real estate agent, call your loan officer, and ask them questions and say, I'm thinking about doing this. Does this make sense, or is this going to create a problem for me? That is the number one thing to remember is that you get advice. That's what we're here for. We're here as a team to help you get into that new home. So talk with us. We're always going to be willing to sit down and go over all of your options, and then you can make the choice. I hope this helps. I really hope that you found some value here. Please leave feedback, ask questions, like my real-time home search page on Facebook, as well as my YouTube page, Realtorology, or anywhere else that you're seeing this video. Until next time, thanks so much, and I wish you the best of luck.